Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
Every year, whenever I do draft write-ups or free agency, it doesn't matter the position. Sometimes there's like caveats that's like, man, I hope this player goes to this scheme, this style of play is paired with a creative head coach, all those different things. Well, in Christian McCaffrey, who comes in number 2 on our countdown list, he is the most Kyle Shanahan running back that's ever existed. And it's the perfect fit for him. It's just a match made in heaven. And whenever you sprinkle in the Debo and the Kittle and the Brock Purdy and just all those different things, Kyle Juszczyk, it's just like, mwah. It is a perfect pairing, and they both just bring out the best in each other. The scheme, the system, the team, the hard work, all those different things. He is just magical, just absolutely magical. And comes in number 2 on our list. It's been a long list if you've been with us, and I really do appreciate that. The amount of time that goes into these, it's a lot, but it's worth it. And I got to give credit to my man Josh, executive producer of today's show. The ballots for Christian McCaffrey, 2, 2, 3, 4. Those were the ranks, and that's where he is. Running back, just absolutely amazing. Now, it's his first time on our countdown because we traded for him halfway through the 2022 season. Right? And so a little bit different than we had him last year, and now he's on the countdown and all that stuff, and he's just magical. Where's jersey number 23? 5'11", 205. He's 28 years old, which in dog years or running back years is pretty stinking old. But he has shown zero signs of stepping down. And one of the things I always go back to, like what you win with, you're kind of tied to. And Shanahan has been notorious as saying he's the best player he's ever coached without the ball in his hands, right? Like kind of a Steph Curry reference there. But like Christian McCaffrey has never been one of the guys that just won with pure speed. He ran a 4.4640. It's not like he's slow, and that's not what I'm saying at all. But he ain't one of those burners. Like he's not the fastest running back the 49ers have. Isaac Guerrero would probably meet that one by a considerable margin. That's how he wins. And I remember doing my draft write-up report of him, and I put in there, if he was just a slot receiver, he'd be a second-round pick in the draft. But he's not. His best trait is his vision, his football IQ, and just awareness of every single situation. Dude's a machine. Going into year 8, and I don't think he's done. The fact that the 49ers just extended him, 49ers don't think he's done. Christian McCaffrey doesn't think he's done. I really hope that he just is the anomaly that he has proven to be already. And, it's quite, how do I say this? I don't want to be rude or disrespectful. But you kind of look at just what that draft was. Like, Leonard Fournette went ahead of him. Leonard Fournette's done in the NFL. He's not playing anymore. Meanwhile, Christian McCaffrey is signing extensions. Like, come on, man. It's just weird what he's done. From Castle Rock, Colorado. That's where he played high school ball. His dad, all that kind of stuff involved. 4-star recruit, chose Stanford. And, born in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Let's go through some of these accolades and family history because it's just impressive. 4-time varsity letter winner in track and field. State championship 4x100. State record holder 4x200. Mom played soccer at Stanford. Dad football at Stanford. Played for the Giants, 49ers. In 1994, won our Super Bowl. Goes to the Broncos. Was there for another 10 years. Won a couple Super Bowls there. 3 brothers, Max, Dylan, Luke. A couple of them played football. Luke just got drafted. Grandfather ran track at Duke. And was a 1960 silver medalist in the 100-meter dash. In the Olympics, 1956 world record holder in the 100-meter dash. Aunt played tennis at Virginia. Uncle wrestled and played football at Duke. Another aunt played basketball at Georgetown. Uncle Bill played basketball at Duke and Vanderbilt. Uncle Mike played basketball at Husson College. Like, come on, man. It just goes on and on and on. This dude was genetically designed to be an athlete. Where that was going to be, whatever, it's football. He's made for football, and he was just great from the jump. 2020, start He was an all-state player his freshman year. Led his high school to 4 consecutive state championships in Colorado. 2013, Colorado Gatorade of the player goes to the all-state. And, I mean, it's just Colorado record holder for touchdowns, 141. All-purpose yards, over almost 9,000. Single-season all-purpose yards, 3,000-yard season. They only play like 11 games, man. Just unbelievable what he was able to accomplish. Now he's part of a powerhouse team. That's it. I get that. Then he goes to Stanford. Guess what? College Football Player of the Year, 2015. Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year, a couple years in a row. 2-time first-team All-Pac-12. Consensus All-American. Paul Hornung Award. Jet Award. Just crazy. Yeah, probably should have won the Heisman. Didn't get it. Then he goes to the NFL, and, he's drafted, pick 8 by the Panthers in 2017. This is Kyle Shanahan's first year as a head coach for the 49ers. We took Solomon Thomas third. Didn't work out. He went 1 pick ahead of John Ross and 2 picks ahead of Patrick Mahomes. Could you imagine being the Bengals taking John Ross whenever you could have got Christian McCaffrey, you could have got Patrick Mahomes, the best of the best at their positions. Instead, you got John Ross. Not trying to throw shade on Ross, but the dude was just a home run pick. You look at the weighted approximated value that Pro Football Reference puts out, basically how valuable they have been in their career. He's 4th in this draft, which is a crazy draft. Mahomes is 1st with a 96 score. TJ Watt is 2nd with an 80 score. Myles Garrett's 3rd with a 79 score. And then you got Christian McCaffrey with a 72. A little further down the list is George Kittle with a weighted score of 50, which is still amazing. But that draft had some studs in it. It sucks that we walked out of the first round with Solomon Thomas. But anyway, shows up. What has he done since he's been drafted? Most receptions by a running back in a single season ever, 116. Only running back to have 2 seasons with over 100 receptions. Nuts. Only the 3rd player in NFL history to join the 1,000 club. The 1,000 rush yards, 1,000 passing receiving yards, right? Joining Marshall Faulk, Roger Craig. Shout out to Roger Craig. We're going to talk about him here in a second. First rookie to do this, that. I mean, this list is so incredibly long. Only the 2nd running back in NFL history with 2,000 receiving yards in his first 42 games. Him and Herschel Walker. That's it. It goes on and on and on. Now he gets traded to the 49ers after being a part of some terrible Panthers teams. We gave up a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th round pick. There's a lot of picks. Now, one of those picks was, offset a little bit, but we barely got him. The Rams had essentially the same offer, Sean McVay, but we had that extra pick, the 4th rounder. That's what pushed us over the edge. A lot of people didn't like it, thought we overpaid. I was one that was like, man, we paid a premium. Let's see how it works out. It worked out perfectly. I mean, that trade's a steal now, which is crazy to say. Took the team to unstoppable levels. Complete weapon. And again, how I started, the perfect match for Kyle Shanahan. Like it's a marriage that was just destined to happen eventually, and I'm so thankful we get to see it. Just from a football perspective, you want to see people achieve the peak that they can, right? Like, get the most out of what they got. And Shanahan and CMC bring that out. Now, speaking of marriage, he did marry Miss Universe Olivia Culpo this offseason, so hats off to there, man. Congrats there. 3-time Pro Bowl selection, 2019, 2022, 2023. 2-time first-team All-Pro, 2019, 2023. Offensive Player of the Year this past year. NFL rushing leader. Had 2,023 all-purpose yards, led the NFL. 21 touchdowns, led the NFL. Legit MVP candidate. Came in 3rd in total votes. Impressive. Hopefully, get all those touches. Led the NFL in touches with 339. You want to bump that down to about 300, but Shanahan ain't going to do that. That's just not really what that's going to be. Now, his PFF grades, 90.6 overall, elite. 90.6 rushing, elite. 87.1 receiving, which would be elite for a wide receiver, but he's a running back. 24.6 pass blocking. He's the best pass blocker we got, not named Kyle Juszczyk, but still not great there. Those are some things that could constantly be picked up, but that's another thing. Now, NFL top 100 list. He's been on there 3 times. In 2020, he was 6th. 2023, he was 35. And this year, number 3, his highest he's ever done. Just crazy. Look at his career. Good Lord. I mean, just 52 touchdowns, rushing, 4,000 yards receiving, 29. I mean, he's just touchdowns. And you look at the Hall of Fame monitor. This is another player. I feel like we've got about 5 that are like, close, not there yet. He's got a 43.1 Hall of Fame monitor score from Pro Football Reference. That's 53rd amongst running backs. He's already passed guys, Matt Forte, MJD, Floyd Little, who is a Hall of Famer. He's got a higher score than him. Ricky Williams, Herschel Walker, Derrick Henry. Passed all those guys on this scale. It's not, the end-all, be-all, but it takes a lot into it. It's pretty accurate. Now, these are the guys he's behind. Remember, he's got a 43.1 currently. Larry Zonka, 52. Paul Hornung, 68. These are all Hall of Famers. John Riggins, 69. Nice. Jerome Bettis, 75. Roger Craig, who's not in the Hall of Fame, has a 77.5. And Tony Dorsett, 77.9. He's there. Now, what does Christian McCaffrey need to do to kind of get over that hump? I think he needs 2 of the following: All-Pros or Super Bowls. If he has a 1 All-Pro season and a Super Bowl win, I think that's enough. I think he's there. If he goes off in 2024, replicates what he did last year, and the 49ers win the Super Bowl, I think he's got a Hall of Fame career. He'll have to wait a while, but I think that's the bare minimum for him, or just 2 more All-Pro seasons without a Super Bowl win. Now, the trump card is another Offensive Player of the Year. If Christian McCaffrey gets 1 more Offensive Player of the Year award, which he's been runner-up, and he won it this past year, he's in. I think that's enough. Still might have to wait. Now you get 2 All-Pros and a Super Bowl, or 1 All-Pro and 2 Super Bowls, or 1 Offensive Player of the Year and then 1 other. Then I think he's in probably first or second year, maybe third year. I mean, even Patrick Willis had to wait a couple years, but he's right there on the cusp. And so you're talking Warner, you're talking Kittle, you're talking CMC. Like, those guys are close. I think Trent's in. Might have to wait a little bit unless he gets 1 more All-Pro, then he's in. But, shoot, Trent Williams just signed. That's great news. So, hopefully that happens. But Christian McCaffrey's close. Fringe Hall of Fame career, I don't think he's there yet. We need more. And if he could stay healthy for another 3-4 years, he's a shoo-in. Just the career numbers are going to be astronomical. Now, the only thing that could stop him is injuries, which have been a part of Christian McCaffrey's career. 2020, he missed 14 games. High ankle sprain. He had a thigh and an AC joint. Not good. 2021, missed 5 games with a hamstring. Not good. So, that's there. 2023, he missed 1 game, right? He had a calf. It held out week 18 as a precaution. Most starters didn't play anyway, but got to include it, right? Even if it is semantics. And he's back at practice today. I'm recording this on the 3rd of September. The first, they're just now bonus practice for week 1. He's out there. So week 1 status, check mark. This is a bonus practice, and he's already out there. Man, I'm excited. Now, he signed the extension, and let's talk some money. On the 4th of May this year, May the 4th be with you, a year after acquiring him, he's already gotten paid, extended. They basically added 2 years, $38 million, and bumped a fully guaranteed up. So he signed through 2028. So the fact that Shanahan and Christian McCaffrey are going to be together for 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, that's crazy. Hopefully he can stay around and to be effective that long. His career earnings right now, $67 million. Love to see that. And in an age where the running back position has been completely devalued, Christian McCaffrey is holding that flag up, and he's helping the entire running back NFL landscape be ticked up a little bit. And it's kind of changed because now it's almost like the position's different because there's thumpers and then there's the guys that can do everything. And that is so rare to find these guys that can do everything. You're always looking for them. They just don't really exist. We'll see what happens. Now, best case scenario. Christian McCaffrey in his last 2 seasons has put up 1,800 total yards and 13 touchdowns. That is insane. Can he do it 3 years in a row? 49ers sure as heck need him to. It's scary just because those are crazy numbers. If you ask me to sign up right now for Christian McCaffrey, 1,813 touchdowns, Total 1,800 total yards, 13 touchdowns. I'm taking that just because those are astronomical numbers. But he's put up, 2,023 yards and 21 touchdowns. And so, like, you're sitting here saying, like, okay, Christian McCaffrey's going to have 300 less yards, and he's going to have 8 fewer touchdowns this year. But I take it because those are just bananas, what he's been able to do. So I expect a little bit of a downturn. And, yeah, there's probably going to be some bumps and bruises. Don't be shocked if he misses 1 to 2 or 3 games. But if he's there in the division games and the playoffs, that's what matters. We just got to get into the dance and let him do his thing. Gosh, I love Christian McCaffrey. And on almost every single team, he'd probably be number 1. But we got Brock Purdy number 1, spoiler alert. And I get it. Quarterback's the most important position, all that different stuff. But Christian McCaffrey, the dude was number 3, voted on by the players across the entire NFL. He comes in number 2 for the 49ers. We are spoiled, and I am thankful. Christian McCaffrey, you're the man. And for the last time that I'm going to say this, because we only got one more, that's going to do it for us here, and we will just keep counting them down.